on Sunday afternoon, you'll never hear the ducks and the geese. You'll hear the roar of 600 horsepower Grand National stock cars. This is Martinsville, Virginia, one of the tightest, toughest half-mile racetracks in the nation, and a track of many surprises, where drivers have won the first race of their Grand National careers. Drivers like Jeff Bodine.
Oh, hi, Mike.
How you doing, Jeff?
Good.
This track has to be special to you. You've won here in modified, in sportsman, in Grand National competition, your first win. I guess a lot of people feel you could drive a wheelbarrow around here and get a checkered flag, but it's not that easy, is it?
No, it isn't easy, but we do love Martinsville. It has been good to us. It's a special racetrack. It always will be because of that first Grand National win last year at the same time.
This track doesn't give you anything. It has long straightaways and really tight turns, and you've got to work every lap.
Well, I think Martinsville really demands more out of a race car and a driver than most of the racetracks we go to. You need a good handling car, a car with a good, strong engine to come off the corner and get down the straightaway, a car with good brakes. Of course, you need a driver that can conserve all of that and save his brakes and run his car hard enough to stay out in front, but not too hard to wear it out so he has something left. 500 laps here is a long way.
Joining us on the telecast today is a former Grand National champion, Benny Parsons, who's standing with another driver who has an enviable victory record here.
Thank you very much, Mike Joe. With me today is Richard Petty. Richard, from 1967 to 73, you won 10 out of 13 races. How in the world does one car become so dominant?
Well, I was real lucky, Benny. Main thing, really, was we just had a lot better equipment than everybody else at that time. We got on a situation where we had brakes. At that time, you were doing a lot of stock brakes, stock stuff, and our boys were just a little bit better than everybody else in figuring out what the problems were. And naturally, we had the Chrysler cars at that time, and they were pretty predominant as far as horsepower is concerned. But we just had a lot of good fortune to be able to run that many races, not hit anybody, or not get yourself knocked out of the race.
Has the GM cars been tougher for you than the Chryslers?
Well, they've been tougher for me to manipulate as far as getting the cars to handle. I've never really hit the combination of handling with the cars that we used to have with the torsion bars and the straight springs. So from that standpoint, that's been a disadvantage, especially on the short tracks. Now, some of the super speedways now, we've got our act together, but we've just never had it together on the short track.
Today, you're starting 20th. That's a long ways back. Can you do it today?
Well, this makes it real tough. To run from 20th just to get through the crowd and keep from using up your brakes, you've done a pretty good job if you can do that. So it's going to be real tough, but possibility is there. That's the reason we're here.
We're going to be watching today. Now let's go to Dick Berggren.
Thanks, Benny. I'm Dick Berggren, and I'll be reporting on all the action in the pit area today. And right now, I'm with the pole sitter, Darrell Waltrip. Darrell, what kind of a race are you looking forward to today?
Oh, well, it's, of course, a long race. 500 laps here is very tiring on the driver and very hard on the race car. It's the kind of race you're going to have to pace yourself. There's going to be a time in this race when you don't want to race anybody. You never know if it's going to be the beginning, the middle. Certainly not the end, though. That's when you go for all.
And this place is pretty tough on brakes, isn't it?
Well, that's the consideration here. If you run too hard, you won't have any at the end. So that's why at some point in time, you've got to back off and mentally tell yourself, stay off the brakes.
Darrell Waltrip is looking for his first win in 1985. Mike?
Thank you, Dick. We'll be right back with the starting lineup for the Sovran Bank 500 after this. Have another hot dog.
The Budweiser Chevrolet. Outside pole, the defending winner of this race, Jeff Bodine of Chemung, New York, to Levi Garrett Chevrolet. Start in third, an excellent run for Morgan Shepherd and Bobby Hawkins, Carolina 2 Chevrolet. Alongside him, Earnhardt, a two-time winner this year on the Winston Cup circuit, and the Wrangler Chevrolet. Neil Bonnet starts inside the third row from Hueytown, Alabama, the Budweiser Chevrolet. And Kyle Petty in the Wood Brothers car from nearby Stewart, Virginia, the 711 Ford. Row 4 finds a couple of Fords. Starting seventh is Ricky Rudd in the Motorcraft Ford. Alongside him, winner of the Daytona 500, Bill Elliott in the Coors Ford. Going ninth, Ron Bouchard, the Valvoline Buick from Massachusetts, and Lake Speed from Mississippi, the Nationwide Auto Parts Pontiac. And here's the remainder of the field. In the sixth row, Mike Alexander, alongside Tim Richmond. Row 7 finds Harry Gant and Rusty Wallace, All-Yard Pontiac. Way back in the eighth row, the point leader, Terry Labonte, along with Bobby Allison, who's never won here in his career. Buddy Baker and Ronnie Thomas in row number 9. In row 10, we have Jimmy Means alongside Richard Petty, the winningest driver at this racetrack. Row 11, Phil Parsons and Ken Schrader. The hometown favorite is Buddy Arrington. He's in row 12 along with Dave Marcus. Bobby Hillen Jr. from Texas and Clark Dwyer from Colorado in the 13th row.
Row 14 all the way from San Antonio, Texas, Ari Birchwell, alongside J.D. McDuffie. The last row, row 15, finds Brent Elliott and Don Hume.
That's the starting lineup. We'll be back for the start of the Sovran Bank 500. On the line this afternoon at Martinsville Speedway as the light is off atop the safety car, and we're getting set for a start.
And all everyone is thinking right now, Mike, is get to the inside, because this is a half-mile racetrack. It's very flat. The groove is on the bottom of the racetrack. Everybody's going to be trying to get down there as quickly as they can.
Trans Am safety car makes a hard left turn, and Waltrip almost runs him over as he comes to speed. And green flag is on in the Sovran Bank 500. And Bodine wasted no time in getting to the inside, almost just as they hit the start-finish line.
He did an excellent job getting down on the inside. And they got Earnhardt hung out on the outside right now. Morgan Shepherd's down the inside. And, you know, you can see Earnhardt going to the back. It's imperative they get to the bottom as quick as they can.
Earnhardt's in car number 3. First car in the outside lane as they go back into the corner. Waltrip's the leader. Bodine runs in second. Morgan Shepherd is third, just the way they qualified. Earnhardt started this race in the 4th spot, but he slid back to 6th position.
Darrell Waltrip hasn't won a race this year, Mike. He is really looking forward to racing. Martinsville has been a good racetrack for him over the years. Jeff Bodine hasn't won a race this year. He needs a victory, and Martinsville is a good place for him.
Both Bodine and Morgan Shepherd, the third-place car, scored the first wins of their career in Grand National racing right here at Martinsville. Waltrip comes into this race 4th in the point standing, as you say, without a victory. He's just 36 points behind Terry Labonte, the point standing leader after 7 of 28 races.
So far, so good for Waltrip today. He's hanging on the bottom of the racetrack. No problems whatsoever.
Look how quickly the field is single file.
They have all gotten in line. Earnhardt was very fortunate to get in line about 5th or 6th place. He could have went back to about 15th.
You'll see that this track has 3 different surfaces. Waltrip's now down on the concrete on the inside of the racetrack next to the curbing. One lane up in the corners is concrete, but it's newer, and the surface is not as worn as on that bottom groove, as you can see. And from there on up the racetrack and on the straightaways, it's asphalt. That's got to be a real challenge to a crew chief to set a car up.
It's almost impossible, but I really don't think that these cars today in the corner will be going up on that asphalt on the outside. It's just a little bit too high on this type of racetrack.
Earnhardt, the number 3 car, has settled in 6th spot behind Ricky Rudd's Ford. 4th is Bonnet. 3rd is Shepherd. 2nd, Bodine, and the leader is Waltrip.
You know, right now we look at that string of traffic behind these cars, and Mike, we don't know who back there can run because they're all hung up in traffic. And at this point of the race, there's no point. As Darrell Waltrip mentioned, there's really no point in going out and abusing your car at this stage of the race.
Waltrip and car owner Junior Johnson have had a bit of a mastery of the short track in recent years. At Nashville and Bristol especially, they have an enviable win record. And Waltrip has done well here as he leads Bodine. And Bodine was a bit of a sleeper last season. When he won this race, it was his first Grand National victory, and though he's won here in modified and sportsman competition, as he told us at the top of the show, this racetrack gives you nothing.
It really doesn't. And the most amazing thing about Bodine's victory last year was that it was only about the 10th race for that team, a brand new team beginning in 1984, and in their 8th or 9th event, they won. And you really felt like they were going to be a team to be reckoned with. And they did. Last year won 3 events. This year, they haven't won yet.
Here's Rudd and Earnhardt. This is the battle for 5th spot. Earnhardt having a little bit of a look on the outside. Kyle Petty is right behind him in 7th spot.
Earnhardt really wants to go to the front.
Back in 8th is Ron Bouchard, the runner-up to Bodine in this race last year. And Bodine's going to be tough. He's hanging right with Waltrip. Darrell is not about to get away in the opening stages.
He is going to be tough, very tough.
Here's Earnhardt. He's on the inside of Ricky Rudd in the Bud Moore Ford.
He looks like he has him this time.
Rudd's got to give him room on the bottom of the racetrack, and that's where you move up.
And you can see what position does for you at this racetrack. If you get inside those cars down the straightaway, they really have no choice but move over and let you go by.
Now Kyle Petty moves up on Rudd's bumper. Rudd is in 15, the red and white Ford. Right behind him, Kyle Petty. Petty driving for the Wood brothers. Out of Stewart, Virginia, there's Junior Johnson, the car owner of the lead car, driven by Darrell Waltrip. The Wood brothers, until this season, did not run all the races and did not have a short track car. The car they're driving today is one that was out of the Petty Enterprises shop last season, driven by Kyle for his own, the family team.
That's right. That is the car that Kyle drove last year.
Back to the front of the field here.
Trouble in turn 3, Mike.
Lake Speed is spun up in turns 3 and 4 in the Bob Rahilly and Butch Mock Pontiac, and he'll have to wait for traffic and go one lap down to the field. Rolls down the banks of the curbing, and the caution flag is out for the first time today.
I tell you what, even at a reduced speed, that is not the position you want to be in. And he can't get the thing turned around.
Now Lake Speed gets it righted and heads for pit road. No, he'll stay on the racetrack, as the caution car has not yet come out to pick up the field.
Well, that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to catch up with the caution car, but believe me, he'll be in the pits to get some tires, as will everyone else.
Well, now that spin will work to his disadvantage. The NASCAR rule on the short tracks, you can only take on 2 tires during the caution period. And here's Neil Bonnet. This is a bit of a surprise that Bonnet would pit this early.
I know they're spraying water. It looks like they would be spraying in the grill.
The ultimate test in adhesion.
The restart. Harold Kinder usually flags with his right hand, but he's got that one bandaged up, but the left one will do just fine. Darrell Waltrip takes the green flag and heads back to turn number 1. Bodine's in hot pursuit. Morgan Shepherd, Dale Earnhardt, Ricky Rudd.
Tell you what, those restarts going down in turn 1. Again, everybody's trying to get to the inside.
Single file among the front runners. And off turn 2 down the back straightaway. 6 cars open up a little distance on the field. Ron Bouchard is 7th. Harry Gant runs in the 8th spot. A couple of lap cars there dropping to the inside. Put Ron Bouchard up in the 8th position just ahead of Gant.
Oh, wow. Tremendous racing back in the pack.
It's a little close-quartered back there.
It's very close quarters. These cars today, Mike, when this event's over, they will have tire marks all up and down the side of these automobiles. And also the front and rear will be banged a couple of times.
Good week for the body man to go on vacation.
I guarantee you.
Good luck. Mike Alexander's running in the 10th spot. Bill Elliott is 11th. And that car, Elliott, that has dominated on the super speedways, just has not had any success this year on the short track.
He really hasn't, you know, and they have put forth quite an effort this year on the short track program, but it hasn't come together exactly the way they wanted to. But that's the only problem they've had this year, because at the big tracks, Atlanta, Darlington, and Daytona, they were just superior.
Victory lane all 3 times. But here on the short tracks, it's a different game, and a different combination of horsepower and handling is required. And apply fellows like Junior Johnson and Harry Hyde, the owner of the lead car and the crew chief of the second one, are able to put together such a strong combination for these half-mile racetracks.
And that's one reason that Morgan Shepherd is running so well today, is Morgan Shepherd has been racing for 15, 20 years on racetracks exactly like this. He is as good on a racetrack like Martinsville as any driver out there.
Shepherd running in the 3rd position. This car was built for Butch Lindley, the Greenville, South Carolina driver, former national sportsman champion like Shepherd. But Lindley, even before his accident down at Pensacola, Florida, was not scheduled to drive the car in this race.
There's Stevie Waltrip, Darrell's wife. She's enjoying today. I'm sure she hasn't had too much to root about this year. Today looks good.
Well, she and 38,000 sun-drenched race fans, a record crowd here at Martinsville, and just about every seat in the house filled. fairly strung out. We're going to start to see some passing here pretty soon, Mike.
Waltrip, Bodine, and Morgan Shepherd.
Trouble up in turn 3, Mike.
Two cars, Bobby Hillin and Tim Richmond go around. And the rest of the field slips past without incident. Richmond climbs up over the curb.
I tell you what, that can't do his car any good. That curb is about 4 or 5 inches high, and these race cars are very low to the ground. But he saved being lapped, so the gamble just might be worth it.
He got away just ahead of Darrell Waltrip. And caution is out for the second time today.
Tell you what, Kinder with one hand making that flagging job a difficult one, I'll tell you.
He keeps them in line. Now, the caution was out just 10 laps ago, and here's Bobby Allison on pit road.
And, Mike, Bobby Allison is pitting on the back straightaway. He was able to get in the pits while the other fast cars were going around to their pits. There, Darrell Waltrip is just now pitting on the front straightaway. I really think Bobby's going to have an advantage.
Your current leader, Darrell Waltrip, has just taken his first pit stop for Outside Tires. The team is very excited about running at Martinsville Speedway. They've got what they call their good car. This is the automobile in which they won 6 of the 7 feature events they earned last year, and they're hoping it's going to bring them into victory lane today. Mike?
Waltrip's already earned $211,000 in 7 races this year, but he's not been to victory lane. And there you see the cars that made pit stops lined up toward the tail end of the parade. And as the green flag comes out, it's Bodine, the leader. He elected not to make a pit stop on this caution, nor did Morgan Shepherd, Dale Earnhardt, Harry Gant, or Terry Labonte. They're the front runners as they come off turn 2 and into the backstretch.
And Bobby Allison did, in fact, end up on the racetrack in front of Darrell Waltrip just by being able to pit on the back straightaway. Darrell was leading the race. Bobby was running about 10th, and he comes on the racetrack in front of Darrell. That may be an advantage throughout the day for Bobby. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Neil Bonnet will be the 6th place car. Buddy Baker is 7th. Richard Petty is 8th. As you watch Bodine lead the pack, there's Allison moving up to the inside of Jimmy Means, about midfield.
This is an advantage for Bodine right now, Mike, because he's sitting out there and he's not really used his brakes up. He has the whole racetrack. There's no one else on the racetrack that has that opportunity except him. He's taking it easy on the brakes. He's taking it easy on the whole car. Meanwhile, everybody else is racing as hard as they can. As a perfect example, Harry Gant, the Skull Bandit, and the Piedmont Airlines car of Terry Labonte. They're going at it tooth and nail.
That's the battle for 4th spot. Just behind them is Neil Bonnet. Bodine in car 5. Morgan Shepherd in 16. Dale Earnhardt in 3. Are your front 3.
Morgan is hanging in there, Mike. He really is hanging in there. It would be great to see that car have a good finish today.
The Bobby Hawkins Carolina tool machine with Shepherd aboard. He, like Bodine, won his first Grand National race right here at Martinsville Speedway. Off the corner, down the straightaway.
Ron Bouchard is up high in turn 3.
And looks like he got a piece of the wall.
It looks like the right front fender's flapping.
Now, Bouchard has won here in NASCAR modified competition, but he's still looking for his first Grand National short track win.
Yes, he has collected the wall. Pretty good, too, looks like.
Wayne Bumgarner and the crew out to service Bouchard, and the caution is out for the 3rd time today.
I would think that NASCAR is probably going up in the corner and inspect for some debris that he might have thrown out on the racetrack.
And here come all the leaders. Let's go to Dick Berggren on pit road.
Here's your leader that's been by Bouchard now has filled up pit road. Most everybody's using the same strategy. Outside tires, tank of fuel, clean the windshield, and try to get their guy out first. Right in front of Bodine is Darrell Waltrip, with whom he was battling earlier. Waltrip is taking a different tack and changing left side tires. And he beats Bodine out, and so do many of the other competitors. And Bodine not as good a pit stop as he would have liked.
Well, we're under caution at Martinsville Speedway. Let's go back to the SCTN studio and Charlie Harville. Let's go to Dick Berggren with a disgruntled driver.
Ronnie Bouchard, the crew has just chewed up the front end of the car, but I guess you had a problem. What occurred?
We did, Dick. It blew a right front tire out going into one of the 3 over there, and it just kind of went up the racetrack enough for it hit the wall, and we really didn't bend anything. We just don't have any brakes.
right now. Ronnie Bouchard behind the wall. This one looks very serious, possibly terminal for the car.
Good thing he's got those goggles on. You can't see the fire in his eyes.
When you see that wall coming, that really does make some fire in the eyes. And there, Bobby Allison has taken the lead. Again, hitting on the backstretch was his advantage. He has went from about 10th to the front.
That team of Bouchards has had plenty of luck, but it's all been bad.
They really have. I would say for the last couple of years that if there was an award given for bad luck, Jack Beebe's team would win hands down.
At the front of the field, Bobby Allison's opened up the biggest lead anybody's had all day.
Morgan Shepherd loses it. He collects Tim Richmond.
And that's the second wreck Richmond's been in. And as the dust settles and the caution flag comes out, Shepherd's car is wedged in the wall. And Richmond is able to drive away.
Barely. Richmond really collected in that time. And Shepherd's car looks very, very bad.
One of those two cars just got a bit loose coming off the corner.
There is no right rear on this car. It looks like the tire has gone off the car. I would say we probably had a problem with the right rear tire on Morgan's car.
Morgan is okay. Same cannot be said for his race car, nor that of Tim Richmond. A lot of tire smoke off the right side from Richmond's car. And once the pace car picks up the field, he'll head for pit road and see what they might do with it.
As you mentioned a moment ago, Mike, under the new NASCAR rules, Tim Richmond is only allowed to change 2 tires. And in this case, he's going to have to change the right side because both of those tires are rubbing that sheet metal. If he were to have a problem with his left side, one were to be flat right now, he would not be able to change it. Well, he could change it, but he'd have to take a 2-lap penalty.
If I were Tim, I'd want to change the whole front clip.
Yes, he needs to.
Little fire has broken out underneath Morgan Shepherd's car. Now, these cars have safety fuel cells to contain the gasoline in the back, but perhaps a gas line or something has come loose. There's Shepherd out of the car.
Yes, that's Morgan in the blue suit.
Oh, it's Timmy Richmond's car beat up. The whole nose of this thing is pushed back. This is the oldest Grand National stock car currently in existence. It's the first one that came off Banjo Matthews' jig where they downsized. The car has been wrecked very heavily before. Both the front and the rear have been replaced. And it in fact sat outside the garage for almost 6 months. But it was the team's favorite, so they resurrected it for this race. And they were hoping that an old favorite would bring them some glory today. Unfortunately, it's all beat up again, Mike.
They will clear Morgan Shepherd's car from the front straightaway, and we'll be back. 11 in the lead for the second time today. Waltrip was the pole sitter at 90 miles an hour around this half-mile racetrack. Led the first 39 laps, and it's taken him 300 laps more to get the lead back.
And Jeff Bodine's hanging right on. You know, it looks like it's going to be a showdown between these two guys. And I think these are two guys who would be a fitting showdown for. Both these cars really get around this racetrack well, and both drivers get around this racetrack well.
They battled with a checkered flag last July in Nashville, Tennessee, with Bodine winning that encounter. Here's Bodine, and they make a sandwich out of rookie driver Don Hume down the front straightaway. And Waltrip won't give up the lead. He jumps into the corner, and he and Bodine come together. But Waltrip is the one that ends up facing wrong way at the top of the racetrack.
I hope Dale can get his car turned around in it and not lose the lap, because as well as he has ran today, it would be a shame to lose the lap.
Well, did Bodine come up the racetrack into Waltrip, or did Waltrip try to shut the door on Bodine at the corner?
It looks like Bodine right here has position on Darrell. But Darrell maybe don't know he's there because of Hume being between the two cars.
Well, Bodine is down. He's almost touching the curb as it is.
Well, it looks like that Darrell certainly came down the racetrack.
Hard to say from this vantage point, or any vantage point except behind the wheel, just exactly what does happen in a situation like that. The Waltrip car is on pit road.
It looked like he got a pretty good shot in the left front tire, but I didn't see a lot of damage while the car was sitting in the pit. You know, the strange thing about it, Mike, is the driver is the one that knows the least what goes on. Because what you really think happens when you watch it on film, you find out that really, truly, it's not the way you envision it being at all.
Bobby Allison will take the restart in the lead. Ken will be second. Bodine is third. Terry Labonte and Neil Bonnet are lapped down, so that'll make Waltrip the fourth-place car. And again, they fan out down the straightaway and try to tuck in single file in the corner. Here's Waltrip moving up the outside. He is right back on the charge in hot pursuit of the leader.
So that's the sign of a veteran, because, you know, a lot of guys will be upset and go out and slam, bang, and run into somebody. But Darrell Waltrip knows what he has to do. He's back out there, and he still has a shot to win this race.
Harry Gant, the man chasing Bobby Allison. Gant won this race in 1982. His first career Grand National victory. Coming right here at Martinsville, like that of Morgan Shepherd and Jeff Bodine. And the man in the lead, Bobby Allison, has never won at this racetrack.
So you're saying it would be very fitting if Bobby Allison were to win today?
Well, Bobby thinks it'd be about time. So does this fella here, evidently.
He is certainly for Bobby Allison.
Here is Gant drawing a bead on the leader on the inside, and Allison just closes the door as they work down into turn one.
Harry's car really looks good on the bottom of the racetrack. The car looks like it's sticking very well. Darrell Waltrip just pulled over. He's off the pace down in turn one.
Waltrip is real slow as he comes off the corner. Behind the pit wall. He's coasting in, it looks like. Jeff Hammond runs for the hood pin. Junior Johnson is there to have a look.
The way they're looking in, Junior's looking inside the car. Evidently, the engine quit running. And they normally go inside when they're looking for an ignition problem.
Junior motions to crank it up. Meanwhile, little smoke again from the back of Harry Gant's car as he chases Bobby Allison. Waltrip, for all intents and purposes, even if his car gets running again, is out of the chase for the win here.
And I don't think it's going to get running again, because he just jumped out of the car a moment ago.
Harry Gant has really picked up the pursuit of Bobby Allison. He tries to go around him on the outside, right in the middle of the corner. Let's go to Dick Berger.
You've had better days, haven't you, Darrell? Oh, yeah, you know, thank the good Lord nobody's hurt, and I'm doing what I wanted to do, really, but the car was off just a little bit. I took the lead about when I thought I could. Felt pretty comfortable. Bodine coming in under me down there going into three, and what can I say?
You can say that's racing. That's about all you can say.
That's all you can say. If Harry Gant pulls off this maneuver, I will be impressed. On the outside.
Not this time.
That's tough. That's tough ground to plow, I'll tell you that.
Well, he's not giving it up. Again, it's on the outside of Allison as they come off the corner, and this time he'll stay right alongside. Allison got a little bit squirrely coming off the turn that time. And as they're back down in one,
he just might be able to pull this thing off.
Boy, that's a hard way by.
It really is.
It's a long way around. The surface not in as good shape up there. Boy, Allison had a prime opportunity to carve a piece out of Gant's fender. Didn't take it, and Gant has the lead.
I'm impressed. He passed him on the outside.
Car number 33 is Cole Bandit Chevrolet. He's the leader in the closing stages of the Sovran Bank 500. The man trying to chase him down right here, Ricky Rudd of Chesapeake, Virginia. The Bud Moore prepared Motorcraft Ford, who has come from a lap behind.
Oh, Ernie Birchwell up in the corner almost went around.
He got about 40 degrees to sideways, but managed to hang on to his car.
That's a pretty good driving for a rookie, Mike.
He's had a good run today. Gant's the leader. Rudd is second. Jeff Bodine runs third. He started on the outside pole. Bobby Allison led a good bit of this race. He's running fourth. And Neil Bonnet stayed on the lead lap all day. He's in the fifth spot now with 10 laps to go.
Harold Kinder just gave Harry the signal. 10 laps to go. And believe me, after Rockingham, the race that we saw in SCTN, and Harry was beaten so close, I'm sure that victory today is going to be very, very sweet for the Skoll Bandit crew.
Ken has near third time today. Kyle's dad, Richard, is running 7th, just behind Terry Labonte. Blake Speed is 9th. 10th is Phil Parsons. Keep your fingers crossed. The Gant has now just 9 laps to go to drive to victory lane. There is Rudd in no imminent danger of challenging Gant or of losing second spot. And he's driven a good race today.
He really has. Ricky Rudd has done a tremendous job today. A lot of guys, their cars have been very, very good today. I've been impressed by Waltrip, by Allison, Bodine, and Ricky Rudd, but most of all, Harry Gant, the leader right now.
Waltrip's a 7-time winner on this racetrack, but his car is parked in the garage area. Gant, who won here in 1982 in this race, looking for his second Martinsville checkered flag in the Grand National Division. Pulls up on Jimmy Bean, Broadway Motors car, and drops Jimmy down another lap. And here's another look at Rudd as he moves up on Richard Petty and Terry Labonte. Now, they'll be tough to pass. They're racing for 6th position. And Bill Elliott rights his car after spinning at the head end of pit road.
Well, he's very fortunate because that yellow thing that we saw is a concrete abutment, and he almost got a piece of that thing.
Elliott gets away, and there is no caution flag. With just 5 laps to go, we'll stay under green. The last thing Gant wants to see right now is that caution and have Rudd close up the distance of about 2/3 of a straightaway.
Harry really doesn't need anyone to push him right now, Mike, because his car is not handling like it was before. Before, he could stay on the bottom of the racetrack next to the curb. Now,
trouble up in turn 4. Eddie Bierswell has spun it around, and he gets a piece of the wall this time. Couldn't save it. And Bierswell will bounce himself up over the curb, and poor Harold's taken away from that flag two-handed now as caution comes out.
Ricky Rudd just might be able to get up on Harry Gant's bumper. I don't know if they'll be able to restart this race, but Rudd will be right behind Harry Gant, Mike.
Well, they're having a hard time getting Gant slowed down with a caution flag to pick up the leader. There's Bierswell. He wants to stay out on the racetrack and not lose another lap. And now the caution car will come out and pick up the field. The question is, do they have enough time to get the race restarted?
If they do, Rudd's going to be right on Harry Gant's bumper.
That's right. It'll be Gant, Rudd, and Jeff Bodine, along with Bobby Allison and Neil Bonnet.
2 laps to go, but the light is blinking, so that means if they come around the next time, if the light goes off, the race is going to be over when they come back around. So Harry Gant has won the race, I believe, Mike.
Yeah, I don't think they can give him a green, white, and checker in this situation because they'd have to drop the green this time around.
That's exactly right. And if the pace car has the flashing light on the roof going, that means that they're not going to start the race this lap.
Well, it'll end under caution with 1 more lap to go, but the fans cannot feel cheated. Gant had a commanding lead, and he has truly won this race, and in fine fashion.
He certainly has.
It's another heartbreaker for Bobby Allison, 25 years, and he has still not won at Martinsville. It's a good, strong finish for Ricky Rudd. And likewise for Jeff Bodine, who won this race last year.
You know, Bobby Allison's won 70 or 80 races in his career. It's amazing that he hasn't won a race at Martinsville.
He has won on every racetrack on the Winston Cup circuit, and he's won 81 times. He just can't win here.
Maybe he shouldn't even come. Well, Bobby Allison's not the type of guy to give up. He'll keep coming back. And there's a guy that's very happy right now, Harry Gant.
Harry Gant becomes a 2-time Martinsville Speedway winner as he comes off the corner to take that checkered flag from Harold Kinder.
Harry almost pushed the pace car off the 4th corner because he don't take any chance on anybody get between him and the pace car.
So here's Gant. There's the finish line, and there's the checkered flag. Harry Gant wins the Sovran Bank 500. It's his 7th Grand National victory in his career.
And there is jubilation as always in the pit crew. Those are the guys that really work hard and deserve all the credit.
him over the $2 million mark in career earnings in the Winston Cup division. Let's meet him in victory lane with Dick Berggren.
Harry, congratulations. It looked like you were trying to stay out front, make sure nobody could get you toward the end.
Well, the car always runs better out front. We had a lot of brake problems today, and when it was out front getting the cool air, it was much better. I could go in the corner, and if I didn't have any brakes, the car would coast on down to where it felt good to me. But if Bobby or somebody was shutting me down early, and I didn't have any brakes, and then eventually I wore out the front ones, I only had the rear ones. So it was a hard race, but we had a good handling car. If I hadn't got down a time or two on that, one restart there, could have stayed out front, it'd been a lot better for my car, because the last laps that I run with Bobby, I almost took everything it had out of those brakes.
You folks hired Emmanuel Zervakis at the very beginning of the season to try to help you with your short track program. How instrumental was he in the win today?
Well, he had a lot to do with the race today. He knows how. Manuel has run this racetrack so many years with Sonny Hutchinson and different people that he just knows a good combination here. Travis had a good combination. Manuel just added a little cream on what he had, and everything was just perfect. We had some malfunctions here. We found out later in trying to qualify. We had a problem with our distributor, and we found it Friday morning. And he was running 3/10 slower than anybody else, and it was a little frustrating. We couldn't figure why, as good as it was handling, but we found a problem with our rotor button Friday, and all our first Saturday practice is always fast as anybody.
With 5 to go, there was a spin coming off the 4th corner. With 3 to go, the yellow flag came out. Were you thinking your snake bit, these guys are all going to close in on you again?
Yeah, there's oil on the racetrack. I was telling Travis, don't let them restart this race. There's blowing oil everywhere.
Harry Gant returns to the scene of his very first Grand National victory here at Martinsville, Virginia. Mike, Benny?
Well, Gant's car owner commutes to the races every weekend from California. He's movie director Hal Needham.
Hal Needham, you must be very proud of your team.
Yes, I am. I think everybody did just a great job. They had that car running so good. Travis and Zervakis had it. It looked like it was on a rail. Earlier, I thought NASCAR had made a little mistake with their calculations. I thought we were in the lead, and they put us way back, and I was mad and raised a little cane up in the suites and told them I was going to protest it. This way I don't have to protest it. It makes the 7,000-mile trip from Los Angeles and back worthwhile.
Well, Hal Needham's walking on air, but they're going to bring some oxygen in for Jeff Bodine. He's a little bit overcome by the rigors of racing 500 tough laps here at Martinsville.
It's one of the warmest days we've had this year, the warmest day so far. Right now, Dick Berggren is caught up with Ricky Rudd, our second-place finisher.
Ricky, it was ever so close. The cut tire did you in?
Well, not really. You know, I thought it did us in. I was just riding along. The early stages, I didn't want to run the car hard. We run along about 4th or 5th. I was about where I wanted to be. Then we cut that tire down, lost a lap, and I was really forced to run the car flat out, which is something I didn't like to do. I didn't think the car would go the distance, and I had to do it to get that lap back. I said, all in all, everything went well. The very last set of tire change we made, the car slowed down about 0.2 of a second, and that was really a little bit of the difference. I couldn't quite run with Harry. Maybe the set of tires before, I maybe could have raced him, at least seen the back of his bumper anyway. Harry ran good. Congratulations to him. He did a good job today.
Ricky Rudd, a fine job himself, finishing second here this afternoon at Martinsville.
Thank you, Dick. Well, 38,000 race fans begin to file out of the Speedway, and they'll have room for 2,000 more. This fall, they're adding some high-rise seats down in Turn 1 to this Speedway.
It's an excellent spot. This is where we watched the race from today, down in Turn 1. It's a great spot to watch a race at Martinsville, Mike.
I'll put my order in now. SETN congratulates Harry Gant on his victory in the Sovran Bank 500.
The Sovran Bank 500 is a present